really praying to God, like this season of my life, like I'm ready to take it to another level. The same mindset I have with these workouts, the same mindset I want to have in the continuation of the spiritual walk.
All right, what's good, y'all? So today we out here on the track. We out at Brookstone High School out here in Columbus, Georgia. Just about to go ahead and get some running in. Today is our first day of phase 3 of this new program. So got some youngsters out here that's on the track, not training with me, but training with their coach. I'm gonna try to make sure to keep angles to a minimum as far as including them in it, just because that's somebody else's child. But yeah, so today on the agenda, what we got is working more plyos and speed training. So for our plyos today, we're going to be doing some standing triple jumps, just testing out distance, seeing how well we do, seeing how well our distance is. And after we do a few sets of those, then we're going to finish that off with some sprints. We're going to do a few resisted along with a few that will be unresisted, and just changing up the distance over time. So we're going to be looking at a 3-2-1 structure as far as doing 3 10-meter sprints at a heavier weight, lightening that weight down to do 2 20-meter sprints, and then we're going to close it out with one unresisted 30-meter sprint, just to try and work all 3 different phases as far as that acceleration. And with the bounds, we're going to be working. How you doing?
Hey, if you're just going to be doing a timed track.
Oh, they're perfectly fine. I can use the outside lanes.
You need something serious for the lane 1, just let us know.
Oh yeah, no, you're all good. I got plenty of lanes. Thank you. And so for our bounding, we're going to be focusing today mainly on acceleration anyway. So a lot of it's going to be horizontal based. Going to be doing some single leg bounds along with those, once again, those standing triple jumps. So that's on the agenda for today. That's it for today. This week, and starting for this phase, we're actually switching to a 6-day-a-week type of phase, just so that way I want to be able to, how can I say, I want to be able to make sure that we are getting the adequate rest that we need. The past phase that we were doing for the last 4 weeks, I was mixing in my sprints along with my lower body days. That made it extremely tough on my recovery. And like working long hours right now, currently studying some different things for a different career field, and just got a lot of things up in the air. I need to make sure that I'm still getting my rest and recovery, so that way I get the best bang for my buck for what I'm trying to do. So what we're gonna do is go ahead and get this warm up going, get ready to get started in that. Hopefully get out of here before any rain and any sprinkles come, because I'm not messing up my camera. If anything, I'll switch over to the phone and do the rest of my recording from there. But that's the plan, that's on the agenda, and that's what we're gonna get done today. And yeah, we're gonna catch the results and then go finish it up with some good meals at the end of the day, and then go from there. So we're gonna go ahead and get started with these warm-ups. With our warm-up, my biggest thing is working our movement systems. Everything today, like I said, is going to be more acceleration based. So with that, we're going to be working more of a forward lean, more horizontal movements. And so we're going to start off with a few things here, and then we're going to be doing some wall drills to where we can get more of those body angles, those body leans, so that way we get all that set. On these, I'm not just bringing my heel down here. Oh, I'm sorry, I'm not just keeping my knee down here. I want to bring it up, almost like a high knee, and then coming back up. I'm gonna go 8 leg swings. As I'm doing these, if you notice, I'm not letting my hips sag back. I want to make sure I'm locked out, pushing down through this back heel, so that way I'm still getting a calf stretch. Then I'm bringing it out.
Still keeping those hips forward. We're gonna work on some knee drives. And so all we're doing is from here, once again, in that nice lean. We're gonna bring this leg up. We wanna focus on a Z position, right? So Z instead of out here. Make sure we're right here, so that way it's a 2 firing motion, not 3. Not here and back through, especially working at acceleration. It's a piston. It's a piston, not a cycling. So we're gonna start right leg up. Once we get through working those are some of the ones I like to work on for the wall. Just make sure, hey, am I reinforcing the foot firing pattern that I want to have? Because how I am warming up and reinforcing these movements now is how I'm going to do as we're going through these motions. And since we're working acceleration, I want to make sure I have a good forward lean, that I'm not too upright, because we are working acceleration. So with these 90-90s, you can do these as a, just a static hold, absolutely. But I like to do these a little bit more dynamic. I feel like it loosens up and readies my hips a little bit more. Although we're not doing a lot of lateral movement stuff, because it's not anything sport specific other than just sprinting. But I should say, anything lateral movement, hips still are going to play a good part within our sprinting. Next, we want to do some hamstring flossing. So we're gonna grab the leg, slowly bringing it up. What we are going to do now is start to work on some more like form specific things, really trying to reinforce these patterns in a more running and dynamic motion than what we did before. So we're going to start off doing some high knees, I should say a walks, a march, high knees. Then we're going to go into some more, I'll say, not necessarily dribbles today, because we're keeping the distance fairly short. If we were doing like flying 10s, fly flow flies or something like that, we would work it in a more, top end fashion. But since we're not doing that today, we're going to switch it up and do it more on the acceleration base. And so that way we get everything all set in the way that we need to. So let's go ahead and get started. Starting out on this first one, just go ahead and get about 10 meters. If you're not familiar with meters, it's roughly around 11 yards. Big thing too, keep the feet activated by spreading out those toes. It will help you out. We're just trying to keep everything in line. We're going walking it back for all of these in between. We're going straight into the marches, one time through. Any time between A walks and A march is going to be just the intent that you're pressing the foot down into the ground with. So as we start to get more and more higher within the intensity of things, then that's where we are going from a walk to a march. Got a few more that we're going to be doing, and then we're going to go ahead and get set up with the Extra Genie today. I don't like carrying my sled. Shoot, I didn't even bring the Extra Genie. So today we're just going to be working it unresisted. Switch up on everything. But yeah. That's another lesson in it too, y'all. Like, every day I don't remember everything I need to bring. That's my mistake by not preparing. That's something I can improve upon, but I will not use it as an excuse not to get my work in. We can still find ways about doing it. There's not really a hill around here. That would be my primary substitute for, like, trying to switch that up. But instead, we're just gonna work more acceleration, just from the ground, unresisted. That makes it a little bit easier. We don't have to go get set up. Save us some time too. When we're going through this, we're still keeping that Z position. So when I come up, I'm still right here. Heel is coming more so to the hamstring. That's my focus, heel to the hamstring. As long as I do that, I'm keeping that Z position, so that way I can make it a 2 firing pattern instead of 3 like we talked about. So as you look at that, you'll be able to tell I'm a little bit more uptight starting out for those first few steps. I kind of felt it, so I loosened up. You notice range of motion in the arms is going to loosen up and widen up a lot more. When it comes to us doing these pogos, it's not that we want ankle stiffness. I think when we think about stiffness, we think of a lack of motion, but we want rigidity. So when we look at some of the top sprinters, fastest guys, I don't care what sport you're looking at, even the best jumpers, they have a certain rigidity to their ankles. When they plant down on the ball of their foot, what you want to look at is how much does that heel sink that they have to recover it, or how stiff does it stay, so that way it bounces and springs back up. That's the main thing that we're looking for, and main thing we're trying to work on. But then when we do our stuff, is to build that rigidity within that ankle complex. So for this one, we're gonna go alternating. And this is gonna be a slight little bounce, a little prance, if you will. And then we're gonna cycle into our next ones, which will be our cycling alternating pogos. Hello.
Hey.
Hey, baby. I'm sorry, I was trying to knock out this workout for this rain come. That's why I rushed over here. I'm sorry, I should have called you.
Oh, okay. I was just checking on you to make sure you were okay.
All right, baby. I'll call you once I leave here.
Okay, love you.
Love you too. Gotta make sure you get into the wife's call. I cannot disregard those. Come on now. Now, we're gonna be cycling through. This is gonna be similar to our triple jump type of motion. So as we started off, 2 feet going over to the dominant leg, but we're gonna bring it up, cycle through, then a slight little transfer. So it'll be easier to show y'all. This will take a little bit of coordination. If this is something that's tough for you, stick with those alternating ones. And if that's still tough, just stick with the double leg bounce for right now. It's perfectly fine. Those are absolutely going to feel awkward starting out. One coaching cue I'll tell y'all, whenever you're doing something that's going to deal with coordination, find a rhythm within it. A 1, 2, 3, a 1, 2, 3, something like that. So I'll tell y'all my cadence as I go. 1, 2 cadence after we get this first jump. All right, so we're not counting this double leg. Getting the focus, there we go. All right, let me turn this up a little bit. I think right now, yeah, it was getting a lot of brightness, but yeah, so that's what we like to do for our warm-up series. A couple little things that you can add in are all going to be dependent on certain little things that you feeling as far as tightness, impingements, all that different type of stuff. Those things will change what it is that we're going to do for your warm-up, because obviously stuff has to prepare your body. That's the main thing for a warm-up. It's not just to do it just to get blood flow. If that's the case, we can go do any random thing. So we're not just warming it up, we're priming it. We're gonna go ahead and get set to do these triple jumps. I'm going to see if I brought my cones. If I did, that's what we're gonna use to try and track where it is that I land on each of these jumps, so that way we have something later to look at. I'm not really sure the exact distance. I don't have a meter stick with me or a measuring tape, but it'll be something that we can just use from these marks on the track. One day when I do have one, I can come back out and get that stuff done. But I'm gonna go ahead and change battery before we get started. Then we're back at 100. So yeah, now we're gonna go ahead and get these just standing triple jumps started out. And then y'all will kind of be able to see the form as best as I can from a front on view. I don't want to take up too much of the track because we got people that are doing a little bit more serious stuff than I am out here. I want to give them their respect on the track as well. But yeah, so we're gonna go ahead and get started on this, and then start track down these measurables. Just going through steps right now. That looks like I'm about like 9 yards. So 9 yards is not bad, but it's definitely not great or even good of what I want for myself. So cool, like we're getting some goal setting ideas, just so that way we kind of know where it is that we're starting from. So what I want to work on this time is really trying to make sure that I am getting a better explosion out. And as I get that better explosion out, making sure that also I am getting a good explosion on those single leg jumps, coming from where my right knee was. You know, no excuses made. I think that I got to get over the thought that I'm still hurt and understand that, hey, I'm healed to a much better point. So it's the mental side of it right now, but this is our third final rep. I want to make sure that we really get this done correctly, and do better than that 27 footer, because to me this week, but it is what it is. Not bad for a 32-year-old, but bad in comparison to where I want to be. I just hold myself to a high standard. But either way, today I feel like those are good for the jumps that we're going to do, only because today has been a tough day as far as rest and recovery. Recovery was extremely weak, extremely bad. I don't even know why I didn't hit start on my whoop strap. Stupid part of me. But yeah, so got that done. What we're gonna go now is go ahead and lace up the spikes. We're gonna work on some starts, 10-yard accelerations, 20-yard accelerations, and then we're gonna do a 30-yard build-up sprint just to close it out. Take it fairly easy on this first day, working acceleration base, and yeah, and we're gonna call it a day. Head back to the hotel room, get something to eat, and then that way we can try and get everything else planned out for the rest of this week, as we are kind of first week of these training plans. I have a plan, but there's a lot of modification to make sure that, hey, is it going to be reasonable, realistic, and also something that makes me actually hit my goals by having a smart progression and not just a, you know, a strenuous one. It's crazy because like being out here on this track, although this was not my high school, this is not even my hometown. I wasn't raised anywhere near Georgia. Born and raised in Las Vegas, Nevada. It's crazy because you stand on these high school tracks and near these high school fields, and it's like, man, you hear those conversations at one point that your coaches tell you, like, hey, like, value this. This is gonna be some of the best times that you have. I remember one practice, I asked my coach, say, hey, you know, you played NFL, CFL, AFL, college, obviously, at Division I single A, like, what was the best times of you playing ball? And I remember, like, the answer to him was so meaningful that he answered it to me, but he also gave the answer to the full team at the end of that practice, is that those are the times that are going to feel the best when we're in high school. That's where it's like, as a high school athlete, you get the most love and joy out of it, just for the genuine love and joy of it. Like, I graduated back in 2010, so we didn't have all the NIL stuff that brings a business into high school like that at that time. Obviously, everybody still deals with the politics, this, that, and the third, but regardless of that, we didn't have to deal with that to that extent. But I see exactly what he said now. Although I didn't reach the highest, like, pinnacles of what I have my goals set to be, God has something and something different for me. But even at the levels that I reached, I find myself reminiscing the most on those high school days, missing some of my high school teammates, and, you know, the moments that we had, the building up that I got to see, not only of myself, but of so many other people as we were going through high school, you know, as we grew on and off the field, on and off the track, confidence within ourselves. And, you know, sadly, some of us, we lost ourselves for moments, or, you know, lost ourselves in total. But man, it's eye-opening to think about and see. And then, like, now being back at, like, you know, being around the local high school and seeing some of these younger athletes, and it's like, man, you don't recognize what you got in front of you. And I hope you come to realize that and recognize it, because, you know, it's going like that. And that's the worst part of it, because before you know it, it's gone. It's not one of those things that you get to build up and, you know, kind of see it coming. Nah, it's gonna hit you out of nowhere. But I say all that to say, like, for all of my younger guys that are out there, value the spot that you at. Even for some of my older guys, you know, this is a message even to the areas that we are in business, the areas that we are in working. It's not about always being at that tip-top level that's going to be the most memorable. You know, I think that even some of the biggest businessmen, like, their main thoughts are before they even got that first 10,000, that first 100,000, because those were like the years that you saw the development of yourself, the grinding of yourself. You saw who was around you. You saw who rose to the occasion and who fell. And you saw the areas where you rose and where you fell. And that's where you really grow as a person, and, you know, in business and anything that you're doing. And so while I speak on a point of reminiscing about high school sports, I don't limit it to that, because it's, at the end of the day, there's a lot of growth that's made that I've had to make as a grown man, from being a businessman to being a father, being a husband. You know, not in that particular order, but you know, just seeing those different points of growth. Those are the points that I will remember for the longest. It's not even the fact of, you know, remembering, you know, the high moments. It's those times where it's like, man, when I was low, or I was down and out, or I felt like I was down and out, those moments where I only felt my family and God, where I only felt those closest to me and God. You know, during those times it was tears shed, it was worries that were had, but man, it's like now I look at it and it's like that built up even more of a value for those that are around me, and a love for them, and a love for those moments. I might not even have it recorded. I think like afterwards I noticed I wasn't even recording, so I apologize. Try and get it on this next one. But yeah, I felt like I got off to a weak push. Didn't really get out in step like how I wanted to. It really stumbled over myself, which the stumbling over myself I'm not too mad at, because I think that shows a good forward lean. The thing is, that firing of the leg, that I'm cycling back behind me, and in this acceleration I shouldn't be. I need to be more so focusing on that piston action. So as we talked about that Z position, up, fire back, up, fire back, up, fire back, just 2 motions, right? So trying to get that down and just be more intensive within those things. Now on the arm swing, I definitely feel myself tight up top, because I think I'm just thinking too much. I gotta loosen up. It takes away from that you know, what one of my coaches called like the gorilla arms, just to be able to get like a good over exaggerated swing, especially because we're not working on just like quick steps in the start. We want power, pushing through the ground, and really projecting ourselves out. Feet may stay on the ground a little bit longer, but when we want fast, rapid fire, that's when we get to that top end speed. I still felt like it was trash. That rep just felt like straight trash to me. So this is our third one. I'm going to I still have not reviewed the way any of them look. I'm waiting until I get back and kind of see it on, you know, on the computer screen, really analyze it and go through it there, because I want to make sure I'm giving it the proper oversight and not just a quick look. Because I've done that before. I've noticed that sometimes it's like, okay, I'm trying to give it such a quick look that I am, yes, having some feedback, but it's not in a way that's actually productive for what I'm trying to do. And what I mean by that is, it's such a quick look over that it's like I point out something that's really not the issue. It's just the quickest fix, if that makes sense. So right now, just waiting out the rest of this time period. I'm really letting a lot of the rest be autonomous, because I do not want to, you know, I guess for lack of better words, do more than what I need to as far as on the resting side. I want to make sure that I'm still keeping quality reps. I feel like the amount of recovery that I'm needing is feeling so short. You know, not only because this is not necessarily muscular fatigue, but it's more central nervous system, so that can be tricky sometimes. But also it's the fact that I think I'm either one, not giving that good of intensity, and two, I know that my cardio did up by a lot and do a lot better that last phase of training, especially with some of our recovery days and zone 2 days and things of that nature. So I know that those had huge improvements. So with that being said, I know that those things play a part. I don't know if that was a spider web on me or what. It looked like it's storm clouds getting ready to move in, so I'm gonna keep an eye on that, because if the rain come, this camera getting put up. But still don't really know how that one felt. I feel like I'm popping up quick, and that's what's frustrating, I think, the most about this. It's like, it's one thing when you don't know what to do. Mistakes are inevitable. You expect them, and you expect them at a higher volume. For me, I demand too much out of myself, and not too much in a bad way, I don't want to be average. I don't want to be mediocre. I don't want to just get by. I really want to, like, if I'm working on something, I want to be the best at it. Yes, I know that takes patience. Yes, I know it takes time. But man, boy, it's testing all of that right now, all of that patience, because I feel like I know better than to have these movements like this, than to be going about it in this way. Something got to give, so I'm just going to make sure this last rep of the day is our best rep. And really focus in on driving. So it might seem like my steps are slower, my stride frequency is slower, but I really want to power through each and every step. I am feeling that fatigue in my right leg, so I'm praying to God that for this rep, and even after this, that he subsides that, because I want to be able to get a good rep in. Like, I don't like leaving nothing if I ain't really done my best at it. And man, like, I'm working on trying to do that in every single thing. One thing I can admit is that I have not been that way spiritually. As of late, it's been a struggle. I have been feeling like it's one of those hard times where I feel strong for a lot of other people, but it's like in those quiet moments, I don't know where to find my strength. And that mess, it's hard and it hurt. It's confusing as heck too. Like, you really want to be there for everybody else. And that's just like, I don't say this to toot my own horn. I really believe that God put me on this earth as a natural born leader. And sometimes as a leader, it's like you got to take on the burdens of those that are around you, that look to you as a friend, as a brother. And I think that's the hardest thing to get in my head and get understood, and do it with the utmost on a consistent basis from a spiritual sense, because that's so unknown to me. That's something that, even as a man of faith, there's so much that I still had to learn. When it comes to sports, you can feel like you're getting close to reaching the pinnacle of a certain aspect of it, and it's not as deep as what the spiritual will be. I'm really praying to God, like, this season of my life, like, I'm ready to take it to another level. The same mindset I have with these workouts, the same mindset I want to have going into my spiritual walk. I'm not even going to say going into, in the continuation of the spiritual walk, because I know God has me and my wife and our family on the journey that he's about to put us into a different place, and I'm excited for it. I just don't want to let God down. And that's a different type of feel. It's like, God, I don't want to disappoint you. God, I don't want to let you down. God, I really want to make this come through, like, because you have ordained it. Not because I want this for myself, not because I want this for my accolades, but because God wants it, because the kingdom of God needs it. And it's going to take the vessels on this earth to bring that forth. But yeah, last one, best one. Last one, best one. Rep, we learn, got better, now we do our best. There we go. All right, y'all, so that's a wrap for out here on the track. About to go ahead and change out these spikes, go get to the car. Still gotta make a stop at Aldi's, grab up our meal for tonight. Shout out to Blaine McConnell, because he put me on strike movement, and honestly, these are like, they're a minimalist shoe, but these are perfect for me. My feet have a broken down arch, like completely flat. Like, if I walk on sand, it's not the usual footprint, it's just. And so with that being said, I have to find shoes that complement my feet in that essence. These, although they are flat with minimal arch, I wanted that because I am still doing different things to try and build that arch back up a little bit better and get that strengthened more before I try to transition into some like barefoot training type of shoe for specific occasions, right? And then even I noticed like some issues when I was trying to do Muay Thai, like, just barefoot is more bothersome to me, and I wasn't liking it. But these, I hate Georgia bugs, man. But these are much more comfortable. I can use these with running, I can use these with lifting. They're minimalist, and most importantly, they're wide around the toe. Like, if y'all see my feet, especially my right foot more than my left, like, it is, that toe is kind of curving in. It ain't a bunion yet, but it's like a bun. Like, it's still got the yun to go, but I don't know. It's one of those things where it's irritant, because y'all might not have been able to see it on that last rep because of the angle that I'm at. It was kind of a little bit of a limp as I got down the track, because where that toe is kind of bent in, it alters the way that you're pressing off. And so if I press off wrong, I feel a sharp pain at the base of that toe, and I kind of felt that towards the end. So yeah, that was irritating. But either way, seen better days, gonna do better. And today was like, it's a travel day. I'm gonna give myself some grace, to say, hey, don't beat yourself up, but come back even better. It also gives us some insight into how we're going to gauge the volume for these next 4 weeks, because this last phase, I want to make this more of a, closer to a 5-week phase, really. Like, I really want to. And we're going to try and really dive into some more upper body and lower body separate days, because of trying to really peak these things out. So we're going to be having some hypertrophy aspects in there, regardless, because who doesn't want to look good while you're performing good? But also we're going to make sure that we have our day split between dynamic and more like strength type of days. Each one is still going to have somewhat of a dynamic phasing to it, if you will, but it's going to have its own little nuances in different ways, so that way we can really make sure that we handling things in the proper way, the best way, and the most decent way possible. Because hey, I'm trying to put together a program that's going to dominate, help others dominate. And even when other trainers see it, they like, yo, I gotta try that. As much as y'all may not know it, excuse me for swatting, there's all these bugs and stuff. We just had rain today, and so in Georgia, when the rain is done and the sun comes out, all the bugs do too. It's irritating trying to get an outdoor workout in today, but we got some rain getting ready to move in too. So we're gonna go ahead and go hit this grocery store, get back to the hotel room. I'm not going to try. I'm going to make sure I do some studying tonight, and get these things ready to edit so we can try and get this video up on YouTube. If you've seen it, obviously you're here, but we're gonna try and work on getting this video up ASAP, so that way we're not wasting any time.
All right, y'all, so I promise I had the best intention on making sure that I set up that camera when I got back, but I did have to do a lot of studying. I did have to get my dinner ready, and I got to get up super early in the morning. Hope y'all love today's workout, and hope y'all love the blog. So just make sure y'all like, subscribe, comment, and share it. Most importantly, this workout, these things that we talked about can help somebody. Make sure to get out to them. Make sure if you liked it, lock in with us, subscribe, and also turn on those notifications so that way you get notified whenever we drop another video. I'll see y'all on the next one.